Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time we are taking a look at this website called LinktoEXPERT. They're a platform that's trying to connect experts with people who are looking for experts. So it's kind of like, think about it, you need a specialist in any field like marketing, a leadership coach, or even an adventurer. And that's something that they specifically mention on their website. So LinktoEXPERT is trying to be that bridge. And we have some snippets from their website. So I'm curious, does this live up to the hype? What makes this platform stand out?
Yeah, one of the things that really jumps out at me is right from the start, they emphasize the value of online business solutions and having that quick access to experts. That's really kind of the name of the game now, right? Speed and efficiency.
Yeah, and you see that right at the top, find experts fast.
Hmm.
So they're really trying to hit on this need for immediate solutions. It's not like they're just trying to be this broad everything to everyone, are they? They're looking at specific groups, right?
Yeah, that's right. They're really catering to executives, experts themselves, event professionals, and vendors. And each group has a particular need that Linkto Expert is trying to address. Like you can imagine if you're an event planner trying to find that perfect speaker, this would be a pretty valuable resource.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they've got the audience right. But what about like their history? I mean, they've got this timeline, they call it LinktoEXPERT accomplishments, going all the way back to 2002.
Yeah, that's impressive over 20 years in the expert networking space. And when you look at these yearly accomplishments, you can see that they're representing different milestones, right? Website updates, membership growth, all these different things showing kind of how they've evolved.
So let's get down to the nuts and bolts here. How do experts benefit from using LinktoEXPERT? What do they get out of this?
Well, they really seem to highlight visibility, connections, and ease of use. So it seems like they're providing this platform for experts to showcase their credentials and build connections and manage their interactions pretty easily.
So it's about more than just like the experts, right? They're promoting themselves. There has to be a good reason for the people on the other end who are looking for this expertise to use it. So how does LinktoEXPERT make that easier?
They emphasize these comprehensive expert profiles, and that's something I really find interesting because they include things like credentials, testimonials, and even direct contact options. So you're getting this really verified snapshot of the expert's background and expertise, that can save you weeks of vetting potentially.
Right. Credentials at your fingertips, like they say. Now, how detailed is this? Are we talking just like a list of degrees, or is there more to it? What kind of information can I expect to see there?
That's a great question, and it's something that we'd have to look at further to see how in-depth it really gets. But they do highlight the ability to contact experts directly, so it seems like there's a pretty streamlined approach to initiating some kind of collaboration.
Yeah, with their slogan, keep your competitive edge, I get the sense that they're really pushing this diversity of expertise that they have available.
Oh, definitely. And they even highlight Therese Firewoman Hartman. She's a coach who specializes in adventurers and art sculpture music. Not your typical expert, huh?
It's not someone you would expect to see on a platform like this. But if you think about it, she could be really valuable to a company that maybe organizes adventure travel experiences or even music festivals. So it's niche, but it's potentially a really good match.
Yeah, exactly. And it really shows the kind of breadth of expertise that LinktoEXPERT is going for.
I think this is where it gets interesting. They have all these different media formats. It's not just profiles and contact info. It's e-articles, books, tips, e-audios, e-videos, even e-services. It's almost like a content hub built into the platform.
Yeah, that's a really smart approach because you can get a feel for the expert style and approach maybe through their articles or their videos before you even reach out. So that adds a layer of engagement and insight that you wouldn't get just from a profile.
So we have this huge content library, diverse experts, but is it static or is this platform a living community?
Well, their updates section suggests that it's pretty dynamic and active. We see recent blog posts from experts like Mick Hancock talking about marketing and sales strategy, Sandra Giroux, who focuses on motivational leadership, and Tony Wachliff exploring the evolution of writing tools.
We even see Therese Firewoman Hartman pop up again, hinting at some exciting event. So it does seem like they're cultivating this community feeling. But how do they ensure that these updates are more than just self-promotion? Are they curating the content in a way that promotes conversation and different perspectives? That's something I would really want to know.
That's an important point. A platform like this thrives on a vibrant exchange of ideas, not just one person pushing information out. So we should definitely keep that in mind as we take a closer look.
Speaking of closer looks, let's talk about the search function. If I'm looking for an expert, how do I actually find them? What kind of filtering options are available? And how does LinktoEXPERT make sure that I'm not just getting a random list of names, but I'm actually getting qualified individuals who are a good fit for my needs?
Those are all good questions. You know, it's one thing to have a big database of experts, but it's another thing entirely to have a system that connects the right people with the right expertise. So let's explore that next.
It almost seems like they're trying to walk that line between being a directory and a community. But before we get too much into the platform itself, I'm curious, what does the emergence of platforms like this say about how we're accessing expertise today?
That's interesting because it really reflects this shift towards online knowledge sharing and networking, right? I mean, it wasn't that long ago that finding an expert meant relying on word of mouth or going through some physical directory. Now it's a few clicks away.
It's almost like the democratization of expertise in a way. Like someone in a small town can now connect with a specialist across the globe,
Yeah.
Without any geographical limitations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It levels the playing field in a way that we couldn't have even imagined a few decades ago.
Hmm.
And for experts themselves, it really opens up a lot of new possibilities.
Right. They can build a reputation, reach a wider audience, and even potentially generate income through e-services or courses.
Yeah, it does seem like a win-win, but like any new model, I guess you have to ask, what are the potential downsides? How do we ensure quality control on a platform like this? With so many experts out there, how can users be sure they're connecting with a credible and reliable source?
Well, they do talk about those testimonials in the detailed profiles, right?
Hmm.
So it's kind of like a built-in vetting process, but is that enough?
It's a start, but as users, we need to be smart about it, you know? Like you'd research a product before you buy it, you should take the time to look at the expert's credentials and track record if you're going to work with them.
So even in the world of online expertise, it still comes down to making an informed decision. Here's something else I was thinking about. Could platforms like this contribute to information overload? I mean, having access to so much expertise could be overwhelming, right? And for experts themselves, could this make it too competitive?
Yeah, I see your point. It's like a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you've got more choice and access than ever, but on the other, it can be really hard to sift through it all.
And for the experts, just being good at what you do isn't enough anymore. You have to market yourself to build an online presence.
And that kind of brings us back to what LinktoEXPERT is offering. It's not just a platform for connection. It's also giving experts the tools to navigate this digital world.
Right, it's like they're saying, here's the stage, go out there and shine. But with so many experts on that stage, how do users know who to pay attention to? So that search function becomes even more important.
Absolutely. Being able to filter and search for the specific expertise you need is essential. And that brings up some interesting questions about the algorithms that they're using. How are they designed? Are they transparent? And do they affect the visibility of some experts over others?
That's a whole other deep dive waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, I think we could say that we're seeing a shift in how we access and consume expertise. And platforms like LinktoEXPERT are a big part of that, with both benefits and challenges to think about.
It's fascinating to watch it all unfold. And it makes you wonder what's next for these platforms. They've come a long way in 20-plus years, but the world of online knowledge sharing is constantly changing.
Think about AI, virtual reality, and all these other new technologies. How will they change how we connect with experts and get information?
Imagine a future where you could have a virtual consultation with a world-renowned scientist or attend a live workshop led by a master chef, all from your own home. It's not a matter of if these technologies will be integrated into platforms like LinktoEXPERT, but when.
And that raises even more questions. Will this make knowledge more accessible, create new opportunities for experts, or lead to new problems that we haven't even thought of yet?
It's hard to say for sure, but one thing's for certain.
Yeah.
The future of expert networking is full of possibilities. And it'll be interesting to see how LinktoEXPERT adapts to this changing landscape.
It's been quite a journey. We started talking about the specific features of LinktoEXPERT, and now we're discussing the broader impact of online expert networking. And, as we've been talking, I've been thinking about our listener and what they might be taking away from all this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe they're already using these platforms to find experts, or maybe they're thinking about sharing their own expertise. Maybe they're just fascinated by how these platforms are connecting people and information in new ways. But whatever they're thinking, I think the important thing is to be curious and keep exploring, because this is a landscape that's always changing.
Yeah, I think that's key. In a world that's just overflowing with information, being able to find and connect with the right expertise is so valuable. And it's not just about finding answers, right? It's about asking new questions, collaborating, and really pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
And as we've seen with LinktoEXPERT, they're not standing still.
Well,
They're trying to keep up with this rapidly changing digital world. They're using new technologies, experimenting with different formats, and they're really working to create a better experience for both the experts and the people looking for them.
it's exciting to be a part of it. And as users, we have a role to play too. We need to be informed, we need to be discerning, and we need to be active in shaping the future of these platforms.
So what does this mean for you listening right now? It means that platforms like LinktoEXPERT aren't just tools. They're gateways to all these possibilities. They give you a chance to connect with amazing people, gain valuable insights, and maybe even find your own expertise.
It's an invitation to step outside your comfort zone, embrace the idea of lifelong learning, and really contribute to a more connected and informed world.
Well, that about wraps it up for this deep dive into the world of LinktoEXPERT. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired to go out, explore, connect, and keep learning.